SYN pumped 1,107% in 12 days. Members nailed this entry. Is QNT next? And first, I'd like to say this is not a clickbait title. You can clearly see that right in front of you. Out of 1,250 subscribers, the average view of 100 to 300 people, only 14 people were lucky enough to see this entry. I literally called this coin out at 2 cents, and it's currently at around 36 cents, over 1,000% gain, also known as 10x your money, in roughly 12 to 13 days. For example, you become a member for 10 bucks and invested $10 into this coin as I recommended, but I'm not a financial advisor, you would have $100 or an entire almost year membership of videos like this. Say you invested 1,000, you would have $10,000 within less than 2 weeks, within the first week of being a member. None of this is financial advice. I am not a broker. That is Uptrade's job. If you got $2,000 and want financial advice, Uptrade has you covered. This channel is to help new crypto traders and vets make money, and memberships are to exercise the phrase, spend money to make money. And for those of you who are members, shout out to you guys. I hope you guys profited heavily like I did with these past 2 weeks. Apparently, every time I go to the beach, stuff like this happens. So I'm going on vacation here next week for my birthday, June 30th. Always accepting members to join and get kind of trades like this. It was phenomenal. Knowing 50% goes to save animals' lives, and comment below the coin requests that you guys would like to see. But for those of you who are not members, you more than likely missed this train. For those of you that are members and did take my opinion, not my financial advice, I hope you guys are sitting at least 7x, because I literally called this right about here. I think it was June 13th was the time I called out SYN, and I almost never bring this coin up. But with my years and decades of experience, I was saying, hey, we might get a pump. We might get some resistance right here around 12 cents, maybe 22, 23 cents, but really nothing stopping it from going all the way up here to nearly 50 cents. And the reason I'm bringing this up for non-members is you guys kind of missed the train. So right now is probably not your best entry point. But if you were a member, you would have 10 times the amount of money with this one trade. And when we dig into this, into the 4 hours, it's a lot scarier than it looks, because say we entered in here around the 2 to 3 cent area, it pushed up, it found its support. CM Guppy launched this thing up to around almost 16 cents. And a lot of people are like, you know what? I'm out, because that is, say you entered in at around 3 cents, that's 327%. That's great. But for those of you who did hold through that process and said, you know what, we didn't come heavily back into the CM Guppy, you guys scalped the next 691 to 700%, and it did not stop there. It is up here nearly almost 900%, and it's actually looking still pretty bullish. But you guys who did not enter, it is a little bit more risky on your part, because even though the CM Guppy is like straight fire, I don't have a fire emoji, but we got a rocket ship preparing to take off, and it can easily turn around and come back down into this CM Guppy. So your risk to reward is a lot higher on the risk side, but nothing's really stopping it from hitting this first resistance here at 49 cents. And the upside potential from where we currently sit, that's about 34%. Not as fun as nearly 1,000% within less than 2 weeks. And your downside potential is, you know, almost 60, 50 to 70% downside. So right now is not your best entry point. If you were a member, your entry point came and it passed in less than 2 weeks. phenomenal. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of you guys for being members and actually seeing that we can see these things. And I try and promote it to you guys before they take off. And luckily, just like this one, just like the previous ones with Tornado Cash that we scalped another 215% almost every other week. Now it's in the red for those of you who entered a little bit later, but that's why you guys are members and see these things before they take off. I hope you guys end up converting like Mormons come to your door and want you to read the Bible. But that's what we're here for. We're here to make money. And that's kind of why I'm bringing up QNT for the people who are not members. So maybe you'll think about it. But QNT, it's building higher lows. Yes, it has this entire teal wedge to be retracing within, but we also have this orange line that is extreme support, and it can pull back, but we still have this black upward trend line here around $58 as support, but it doesn't look like it wants to go much lower. Even though Bitcoin just keeps dropping, there's opportunities out there like this one that can get you 10x your money out of nowhere, more or less. But there's reasoning behind why this thing pumped, and it's a lot to do with TA. I think it was about 6,000 or 6 to 9 million was being traded, and it went up to like 61 to 91 million. Pretty substantial, all because it broke over that 200 EMA. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. QNT is trying hard to get over that 200 EMA, and it's got this downward line. Essentially, this orange circle is where we want to have our entry, just like we saw with SYN. When we get over this point, we have this wide range to be playing around, and it can go beyond that easily up here towards its previous high, which I believe was around like 124 or 130, more or less. But it's got some pretty strong resistance, unlike SYN had. If we get rid of this Gon fan, make it a little bit cleaner, get rid of, well, we kind of need this resistance line because that is what needs to be broken to start playing within this range. So don't miss your opportunity to stack QNT here at $67, as we know its potential can be going up to at least 1,500, minimum $500 from a $67 investment. So shout out to you guys for being members. 50% is still going to save animals' lives. And I will try and keep you updated on coins like SYN, QNT. It's in the accumulation phase. So you guys do have some time to watch this and wait for it to get over this point right here around $75. Essentially, that is where you want to enter, and you can be scalping a pretty decent paycheck right there around 61% increase. The decrease, I mean, you're only looking at 11 to maybe 24%. So the odds are in your favor for QNT. And I don't think it can go much lower than where we are currently seeing it at, as getting a bullish pendant based between this line and this black downward trend line. So it's looking pretty good. Volume is pretty decreased, and we are still kind of increasing in price. So it's looking better and better. And we see that just like SCN or SYN, it can easily push pretty rapidly in a very short period of time. That was less than a month. It went up 131%. You do not see that in the stock market. So good luck. Have fun with it. I hope you guys heed my opinion. It's not financial advice. And if you haven't done it yet and you got $5,000 just sitting around, I personally recommend putting it into XRP, transferring that over to Nexo, and if you hold minimum 5,000 for 45 days on Nexo, you get $600 in Nexo token. You can sell it. You can keep it to earn more passive rewards. You get 600 in Nexo. I get 600 in Nexo. Everybody wins when you use that reference link. So check it out. Earn some passive income while the rest of the market is going sideways or bleeding out. You can at least earn passive rewards by staking money on Nexo, and after 45 days, free $600 deposited to your Nexo account. Who doesn't like half a grand and more for free? I do. So good luck. Have fun with it. I'll see you guys on the next one.